Good morning, students. Class 10th, lesson number 3, Early Nationalist, we have already completed. So today we are going to start with the chapter number 4 of history, that is the second phase of the Indian national movement. Second phase of the Indian national movement. So in this chapter, we are going to study about the partition of Bengal and little bit about the Surat Split, some of the objectives and the methods which was adopted by the Assertive Nationalists, and two contributions of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Vipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. Lord Curzon, when he came as a viceroy in India, so the time period of Lord Curzon was marked with a lot of controversies, because he was responsible for the partition of Bengal. So partition of Bengal was planned in such a way that Bengal will be divided into two parts, that is Eastern Bengal and the Western Bengal, comprises of Hindus on one side and Muslims on the other side. Now, what was the reason that partition of Bengal it was done? So the main reason which was given by the Britishers was that Bengal it is a big province and it is very difficult to go with the administration or to control the administration. So in order to have a effective administration in Bengal, they want that Bengal should be divided into two parts. This was the reason which was given by the Britishers to the people. But the main reason behind that was not the big province, but it was that because Bengal was the nerve center for all the nationalists, all the leaders, those who were coming out for the freedom struggle, they belongs to Bengal. Moreover, in Bengal, they want to divide the Hindus from Muslims. They want to do the division of Hindus and Muslims in order to fulfill their motive of divide and rule. Clear, children? And they also want that Bengalis should be divided into minorities. So these were the main reasons which no doubt Britishers they didn't give these reasons. They gave only that it is a big province, but the basic reasons was these only. So when the partition of Bengal it was announced, there was a lot of anti-partition movement which was started by the people. And all the different sections of the society, Jamidar, merchant, lawyers, students, women's, they all were against, they all opposed the partition. Many protest meetings they were held under the leadership of Surendranath Banerjee, Krishan Kumar Mitra, P.C. Roy, B.C. Pal, and they talk about that partition should not be done. Many of the newspaper like Bengali, Hetabadi and Sajivani, these were they were writing against the partition. So the anti-partition movement was initiated on August 7, 1905. Lot of demonstration it took place against the partition in the town hall in Kolkata, and people they too reacted against it. That is, they had a national mourning throughout Bengal. They observed that day as a fasting. There was a lot of hartals in Kolkata. People they walked barefoot, nange pav. They had a bath in the Ganga. Then the street of the Kolkata, they were full with the cry of Bande Mataram written by Bankim Chandra. Then Rabindranath Tagore, he wrote Amar Sonar Banglo, My Golden Bengal. Then the ceremony of Raksha Bandhan was celebrated. Hindus and Muslims, they tied Rakhi, yellow thread on the each other wrist. Clear? So this way they were showing their they were protesting against the partition of Bengal. They don't want that Bengal should be divided into two. So impact of the anti-partition movement, the various movement which was started by the people. So what was the impact of it? The partition of Bengal along with the anti-partition movement spreading throughout. Again, large people, they participated. They were ready to sacrifice. They were ready to give their life for the country. The idea of Swadeshi, the boycott, it was popularized, and people, they started boycotting the things which was made by the Britishers. And one more thing, that the people, they lost faith in the justice of the Britishers, and they also backfired the plans of Lord Curzon, the motive which Lord Curzon he was having against this partition of the Bengal. Now next topic, a very important topic, that is a Surat Split. Now children, Surat Split, I will explain you. Before that, I want to tell you that assertive leaders, assertive nationalists. In the previous chapter, we have divided the national movement into three parts. The first one was early nationalists, the second one was the assertive nationalists, and third one, it was the era, the time period of Mahatma Gandhi. So first part we have done, assertive early nationalists. Now in this chapter, before doing the Surat Split, I want to tell you that who were these the assertive nationalists. So the second phase of the national movement, the second phase of the national movement, it consists of a young group. They were within the Congress only, but their ideas, their methods, they were different from the early leaders. These were the angry young men, those who stood for complete suffrage. Okay, they want complete suffrage. They don't want the help from the Britishers. They want Britishers to leave India as soon as possible. They were not ready to compromise with the Britishers on any of the cost. So these people, these were the time period of the assertive nationalists. Now Surat Split, as we have already done about the early nationalists. So Surat, it's a name of a place, and Split, that's the meeting which took place in Surat, it divided, it was of no use. Now what it happened? There was a dispute between the two wings of the Congress on the issue of Swadeshi, Swaraj and national education. Okay, they also disagree over the candidate for the next presidency. Okay, like assertive leaders, they want their leader to become the president of Congress, whereas the early nationalists, they want their leader to become the part president of the Congress. So they were not able to come to any of the conclusion. So therefore, Dadabhai Naoroji, he was made the president in 1906, and Dadabhai Naoroji, all of them, both the groups, they accepted Dadabhai Naoroji being a elderly and honorable person. Then the difference between the two sections, it keep on continuing. They were continuing, but now again when in 1907 they met in Surat for again for the new name. So the assertive leaders, they proposed Lala Lajpat Roy as a president, and the early nationalists, they represent the name of Rash Bihari Ghosh. That they want both of them, they want their person to be elected as the president of Congress. So on this reason only, the dispute arises, and this led to the split in the Congress between the early nationalists and the assertive leader. For you can say that for 9 years they remained out from the Congress. So the split in the Congress, that is the split of Congress, or you can say the differences between the early nationalists and assertive leaders, they gave more opportunities to the Britishers. They were very happy that they are not working together, because early nationalists, they were in the favor of Britishers, whereas the assertive leaders, they were not at all in the favor of the Britishers. Now, what was the reasons for the rise of these assertive nationalists? So, first of all, it is a recognition of the true nature of the British rule.